Happy morning, children. This is your Jyoti teacher. Children, from the previous sessions, I hope that you have understood the Unit 1. Now, today, children, we deal with the lesson The Selfish Giant, that is our Unit 2, Part 1. Children, the moral of the Selfish Giant story is happiness through true love and selfishness. This story teaches you the best feeling of happiness is when you are happy because you have made somebody else happy. Nature is a gift of God. It is for pleasure of all. The fruits of nature should be enjoyed by all living beings in nature equally. Nature cannot be owned by a single person. One should not be selfish in enjoying the fruits of nature. Particularly, children are most welcome to enjoy nature because they represent God. You see, children, the nature, it is not owned by anyone. Everyone can enjoy it. In this lesson, the major characters are Old Giant, the Giant, children named Tall Girl, Short Boy, Square Girl, Graceful Girl, Round Boy, and the figurative expressions like snow and frost, north wind, autumn, and hail. They are imaginary characters. Here, the children have names like tall, short, square, graceful, round because they don't have any other names. To identify, they have given the names like that as per their features. Here see how the children are enjoying in the nature. The children have been named as tall girl, round boy, square girl, mentioning their physical appearances. Because of their physical appearances only, they have given these names. The story had been knitted around funny physical appearance of the giant. The giant had either amused or frightened the children. Because of the giant physical appearance, the children may feel happy or sometimes they may frighten. There was inner sense of consciousness representing his physical appearance. In this story, when the children come into the garden and start playing, with the very touch of children, all the trees in the garden turn green as in the spring. You know the spring season, how it will be? The flowers will be there, fruits will be there, full of flowers and fruits. It is explained symbolically that nature means God. God is happy when children are happy. See children, when the children are happy, here we can say that God also very happy. In this lesson, to draw the attention of all the readers, snow and frost, north wind, autumn, and hail have given the human touch to feel empathetic with the characters in the story. We know that snow and frost north wind, the wind which comes from the north side, autumn, that is the season, and hail, the snowballs. They have given the human touch. It means a conversation also there between them. The two giants in the play are an old giant and the giant. Old giant and the giant refer to the same character. Both are same only. The old giant and the giant. But their qualities, it means human qualities, made them as the old giant and the giant. Now we see them. Old giant is a selfish character and the giant is a kind character, a change in mind. They represent, it means both the old giant and the giant represent the human qualities of selfishness and kindness. Here the old giant character represents selfishness and the giant character represents kindness. The old giant is selfish because he did not allow anybody into the garden to play. Particularly, he did not allow the children to play in it. He built a wall around the garden, not allowing anybody to enter. Here see, he built a wall and did not allow the children to enter into the garden. Now we can see the story. The old giant had been to visit his friend, the Cornish og, and had stayed with him for 7 years. So, the children were not afraid of the giant. Every afternoon, as they were coming from school, the children used to go and play in the giant's garden because the children knew that the giant was not there. So, every day they came to this garden and enjoyed. It was a large, lovely garden with soft green grass. Here and there over the grass stood beautiful flowers like stars, and there are some peach trees. In the spring season, they develop into delicate blossoms of pink and pearl. The flowers are in the color of pink and pearl. See how beautiful the garden is. In autumn, they bore round fruit with soft red and yellow skin. When the birds sang so sweetly that the children used to stop their games in order to listen to them. Here see the peach trees and the fruits. One day, the giant came back. When he arrived, he saw the children playing in the garden. When he shouted at them and asked what they were doing there, then immediately what happened? The children ran away. He even shouted and said that it was his own garden and he would not allow anyone to play in it. Here see children, how he was shouting on the children. So, he built a high wall around it and put up a notice board saying, trespassers will be prosecuted. It means without his permission, who enter into this garden will be punished. By this, we can easily say that the old giant was a selfish one. Here see, he built a wall around the garden and he put a notice board that trespassers will be prosecuted. The poor children had now no way to play. They did not like to play on the road because the road was very dusty and full of hard stones. They walked around the high wall of the garden after their school and talked about the beautiful garden inside. Just then, the giant opened the door and shouted at the children, and his loud shouts made them scatter. Scatter means they have to run away from that place. They were dispersed from that place. Now, the spring came. The spring season. I told you how it will be. Full of flowers and fruits. The spring came all over the country. It means the spring season. There were little blossoms and the little birds. But only in the garden of the selfish giant it was still winter. Here, winter after the spring season will come. But still winter only in the giant's garden because there were no enjoyment in his garden. The birds did not come to sing in it as there were no children and trees forgot to blossom. Here see, still winter only in the giant's garden. Once a beautiful flower put its head out from the grass. But when it saw the notice board, it was so sorry for the children that it slipped back into the ground again and went off to sleep. It means the spring would not enter until the children come into the garden and start playing. But the only people who were pleased were the snow and the frost. Here they have given a human touch to the snow and the frost. They cried that the spring had forgotten that garden so they could live there all the year round. So if still winter season only, snow and frost will be there only. Here see the hail balls and the snow also. So the snow covered up the grass and the frost painted all the trees silver. So the snow covered up the grass. It means now the grass is completely filled with the snow and the frost painted all the trees silver. As the frost covered all the trees, what happened? Now the trees are looking like in silver color. Here, the figurative expression has used and compared the snow and the frost with people. See how the grass is covered with snow and the trees are completely filled with frost. Children, read it for 2-3 times. Then you can easily understand. And in the next session, we can continue the lesson. Thank you, children.